this was what happened with cholesterol-lowering agents. They did not prove that they had an effect on cardiovascular death. They proved that they were able to lower cholesterol. And once they were in the marketplace, they proved that they could then have an effect on cardiovascular disease. So this is the challenge that we face. In fact, there are numerous types of agents. There are over, probably half a dozen different ways that are currently being evaluated to either prevent or target amyloid once it's in the body. One of the most active ones is actually using antibodies. So we all make antibodies to ward off infections normally or other diseases, and people have developed antibodies that target amyloid, and these are currently being tested in clinical trials. The problem is they're probably being tested too late. They're being tested in people who have brain failure. And just like if you were going to lower your cholesterol after you've had 4 heart attacks and are in complete cardiac failure, this is not going to do much good. You have to prevent it. So we're beginning to move we had to do those studies. I think it was ethically important that we do those studies. But now we have to move the ball earlier and earlier. Well, so what are the challenges here? Well, I think this will work. I think one of these methods to target amyloid is going to prove successful enough. The challenge is the most recent antibody trials that were done for a single agent cost somewhere between $1.5 billion or $2 billion. And at least the first half of this has failed because it was too late. So moving this back into earlier and earlier asymptomatic people who have a head full of amyloid by a scan is going to be challenging, and it's going to take a huge amount of concerted effort and money. And again, this goes back to what Dave was saying, the amount of funding historically for Alzheimer's disease. And you could read the article that I wrote as an editorial I'm an editor-in-chief of a journal that's available online for Alzheimer's research and therapy. And when we actually sat down and looked at the numbers compared to other diseases, we are horribly underfunded, and it's going to take additional awareness, support, and lobbying to make inroads into this disease. Given the advances in science, again, we have numerous ways to go after this disease, but they're going to be tough to prove that they work in the clinic, and we're going to need a lot of shots on goal, and we can't have people bailing out because we had a few failures. And I'm worried that in this environment, when it costs so much to run these trials, if there's not continued public pressure, if there's not continued effort that we can take care of this disease, I think we know enough. The knowledge and science has advanced far enough. We've already made huge inroads. People used to argue that, oh, you have dementia, that's part of aging. That's just not true. This is a disease. There are people who are well into their 90s whose brains are completely free of pathology, who are completely normally cognitively functioning. So this is a disease. It increases as the chances of having it increase as you age, but it is a disease that we could do something about. And so I'll stop there and turn it over to my other colleagues, and thank you for your time.